I don't know if you know who Hugh Ross is. Hugh Ross is a creationist astronomer who believes in the Big Bang and goes around telling people the Big Bang's real. The Word of God tells us that God spread out the heavens. There's astrological evidence that there was no Big Bang. The Big Bang is a fallacy. Big Bang is a fallacy for a number of reasons, but I'm just going to center upon one for now. The reason is black holes can't explode. It's that simple. You see, we know that there are black holes in the universe. We've detected them. And we have a lot of strong evidence to believe that the center of every galaxy in this universe contains a black hole at its center. And all the mathematical models that we can conjecture of black holes with that much matter being in a single location would create so much gravity that nothing could escape it. Not even light would escape it. Right? So a black hole can't explode, can't go boom. Okay? That's just impossible. Now, the evolutionists argue against that, well, the singularity wasn't a black hole because it had dark matter in it. Let's explore that just for a second. Let's pretend for a minute that I got to debate Hugh Ross. Okay? I'm going to show you how easy it would be to make everything that comes out of his mouth in that debate look like a silly conjecture and for people to laugh at him for the rest of the debate by me asking him one question. Okay, so let's pretend, I'm going to pretend to be both me and Hugh Ross in a debate. Okay, so Hugh Ross says, well, we know that the Big Bang occurred because, the universe is expanding. I say, oh, Mr. Ross, does the fact that it's expanding necessarily mean that it was in one location in the past? Well, and he says, well, if you conjecture, if we, go back in time, we can see that it was, okay, and I ask him, well, now you're assuming that because it's expanding, it was in one location at one time. What is the evidence that, are you saying, Dr. Ross, that a black hole can explode? Do we have any evidence of that? And Hugh Ross says, oh, well, the singularity wouldn't have been a black hole. It would have been different because the singularity would have been comprised of massive amounts of dark matter. And that changes everything. And, of course, I ask him, oh, okay. Well, see, black holes are massive amounts of matter located in a single location, and evolutionist cosmologists claim that dark matter is what's allowed stars to form, keeps galaxies together, and keeps the planets in our solar system going around the sun. That's what they say. So, why again would the singularity? Does a black hole not have massive amounts of dark matter in it? Hugh Ross says, well, we don't know that it doesn't. They don't. In fact, we assume that probably do because they're not exploding. They're not expanding. And so I say, oh, okay. So your idea that this singularity could exist and could explode is based upon the fact that you believe it had massive amounts of dark matter in it. Well, yes, that's the current theory. Blah, blah, blah. And I say, oh, okay. Dr. Ross, what is the physical evidence that dark matter exists? Do we have physical, tangible evidence that passes the scientific method, which is observable, testable, and repeatable, which can be considered science? Not speculations or conjectures, not assumptions. But do we have physical evidence of dark matter's existence? Dr. Ross says. Well, we have worked out the models of the mathematics, and clearly there's something there because it doesn't work without the dark matter. I say, okay, so then you're admitting that your assumption that this massive amount of dark matter exists is what you base your idea on for the concept of that a big singularity could explode. And Ross would say, well, and And I say, okay, so then, Dr. Ross, is it not true then what you're putting forth is your assumption, your personal assumption based on something that is not scientific, that's not detectable, we cannot detect it, we do not know for a fact it exists, it's only conjectured to exist, and therefore what you're saying is not science. Okay, so I asked you a question in science. Can a black hole explode? Do we have evidence that there is this dark matter so we know that a black hole could explode? And in the existence of dark matter, even if we did detect it, that wouldn't somehow verify, I don't believe, that a black hole could explode. But so you're admitting then that your idea that the singularity could explode is based upon your assumption that dark matter exists and that the singularity had massive amounts of it. You don't have physical evidence that passes the scientific method for this dark matter, or that it could be there in the singularity. Is that correct? And just please answer me yes or no, Mr. Dr. Ross. I don't want conjectures or speculations or inferences and all this. We're talking about science, are we not? Okay, so please give me a yes or no. Is it not your assumption that this dark matter exists, and therefore you base your idea that the singularity could explode because of this assumed dark matter? Well, yes, but oh, thank you, Dr. Ross. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Ross, I would appreciate one thing. If you keep your religion, you keep your speculations, your assumptions, and wild conjectures out of this discussion, we're talking about science, okay? You should know that, being a cosmologist. And Dr. Ross's response to that is to look around at those sitting next to him, fidget a little bit in his pants, and blink, blink.